Hi, and thanks for logging on to the Daily DVAR Halacha. And here's a brand new halacha for you, and it's for Wednesday, the 16th day of May, the second day of Sivan. We're getting very close to Shavuos, and I have not a halacha today, but a thought for you on the holiday of Shavuos. Here goes. You know that God, according to the Medrash, went around to all of the other nations before the Jews and offered them a chance at having the Torah. And the other nations basically asked questions, and God pretty much told them, answers to their questions, and it seemed like they weren't interested in the Torah. And then He finally got to the Jewish people, and they said, "Nasa v'nishma." We will do and we will hear. But the interesting question is this: some of the other nations, God presented them with things that they weren't good at doing. In other words, a nation that was apt to steal, He told them, well, it says in our Torah that you can't steal. And nations that were murderous, He said to them, well, you're not allowed to murder. And they said, well, then we don't want this Torah. And then He came to the Jewish people, and here's the interesting thought for you today, and that is, there is really nothing much in the Torah that goes against the nature of a Jew. We are by nature honest. We are by nature good. We are by nature not murderers. And so the question becomes, what is the amazingness, if that's a word? What's so amazing about the Jewish people accepting the Torah when the Torah way of life kind of suits us and fits us? To those of us who are used to it, Shabbos is wonderful. Kosher is very wonderful. And so there's sort of like as the other nations would have faced a challenge in accepting the Torah, for us it was all kind of like it fit our lifestyle. So why are we given such great accolades for being such a wonderful people, stepping into a way of life that suits us anyway? Hope that question makes sense to you. So here's a beautiful answer that I once saw in a Hasidic writing, and it said this as an answer: there actually is a mitzvah in the Torah which runs against our nature. And it was actually a mitzvah given to us right before we got the Torah. And that was the mitzvah of making a barrier around the mountain of Har Sinai and not going up the mountain. Only Moshe was allowed to go all the way up the mountain, and everyone else was told to stay back. And that's hard for a Jew to do. Jews are by nature very curious, very smart, very spiritual, and very interested in seeing the heights of spirituality. So when you see Har Sinai, Mount Sinai, and you're told, don't go up that mountain, that's actually very difficult for a Jew, just like it's difficult for a stealing nation to be told not to steal. And in many ways, that's how our life is in general. There are parts where, like Yisrael is told, you may not have that aliyah. And ladies are told, you may not have that mitzvah that the man has. Only men put on tefillin, or things like that. So as we look through our religion, there are many things for all of us that put us in our place and say, no, only the Kohen does that. No, only the high priest does that. Only the rabbi can do that. And we have to take that at face value and say, my place is right here. I'm a good soldier in the religion of Judaism, and I only go up to this point, and I'm not allowed beyond that. That's difficult for us because we're a curious nation, we're a spiritual nation, and when we know that there's greatness up there, we kind of just yearn for it, and we're told, your place is here. That's difficult for us, and that's our challenge. When we fit into that and we accept our place in Judaism and say, I'm needed here, my function is there, and that's all I'll do, and I won't get in the way of the leaders who are doing their part, that's difficult for a Jew sometimes. And that's part of what we had to submit to when we became this great Jewish nation. We also did not just glide into the Torah way of life. Here and there are parts of it that take a lot of hard work to fit into, and that's where we collect our great accolades as being the people that are willing to follow in along the path that the Torah wants us to go on. That's your Shavuos thought for today. Thanks for logging on, and log on again tomorrow for more as we approach Shavuos, a little bit more that you'll need to know as we approach the holiday of Shavuos. Thanks for logging on. Have a great day. Bye-bye.